And hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to 360 Wrestling Fanatic. As I said, it's been quite a while, but finally, 360 Wrestling Fanatic is back. And thank you for tuning in to episode. I finally got around to it. I know I've been saying it for quite a while now. Feels like a million years since I've been saying I want to try start doing new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Finally getting around to it. Well, better late than never, like they say. I know I've said that before here on the podcasts. Have quite a bit of catching up to do. Unfortunately, not going to be talking about everything that I have missed during that long break that I was on, but do want to talk about a couple of the things. And I hate to start off this first episode back of 360 Wrestling Fanatic with some sad news on the passing of a couple weeks ago. Wanted to talk about that, of course. I'm sure most people, when they think about Ted Turner, they think, of course, CNN, the Cartoon Network, TBS TNT, the Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks. Well, maybe one of the richest men in the world. I'm not sure about that, but maybe he is. But of course, as a pro wrestling nerd, when I hear the name Ted Turner, the first thing I definitely WCW, and probably if it wasn't for WCW, I'm not sure if I would know who Ted Turner was. Maybe I would just kind of know the name, but not really know much about him. But definitely the reason I know as much as I do about him is definitely because of WCW. Pretty much, I've heard this on other podcasts, but he did pretty much change the landscape of pro wrestling because he is the main reason WCW stayed in business as long as it did. Eric Bischoff has said that on 83 Weeks with Conrad Thompson that there were times where WCW probably should have gone out of business, but Ted Turner wanted pro wrestling on his networks. I know it started back with Georgia Championship Wrestling, but definitely, I remember when I was a kid, Saturday night, 6:05, TBS, I was tuned in for WCW Saturday night. And then, of course, the Clash of the Champions. And when Monday Nitro started, every Monday night, TNT, Thunder, and to go back further, of course, had Saturday mornings WCW Pro, and then Sunday evenings at 6:05 was WCW Main Event before WWE had Main Event as a show. And on Dynamite, very nice of AEW to do a tribute, which I expected them to do some kind of a tribute since they are on TBS. And Tony Schiavone, of course, working for Turner many years. Surprised, though, to see Sting make an appearance to pay tribute. And very nice of WWE as well. I was curious if they would mention it maybe at all, but didn't actually talk about it. But they did have a graphic at the beginning of SmackDown, which I thought was very nice of WWE. And Tony Schiavone, speaking of him, told us on his podcast What Happened When with Conrad Thompson. And he talked about how he said this before when WCW was purchased by WWE. He got a job the next day with the radio station as the Braves game there. He saw Ted Turner in the bathroom, and a couple of things I can't repeat, but he said that if he was still there, that WCW would still be on TNT and TBS. And I've heard people say that before. If Ted Turner didn't lose the power after the merger with AOL, Time Warner, all that who knows, WCW could be still in business, or if not in business today, 2026, but probably would have lasted longer than 2001. And who knows what pro wrestling would be like today if there actually still was a WCW. But Ted Turner, I know I heard John Pollock from Post Wrestling say he's not in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. I think he deserves to be honest. And I mean, he still could get voted in. And by the way, I doubt that he's listening, but Dave Meltzer, it would be great if you could send me a ballot. I know I'm probably the worst pro wrestling podcaster in the world. It would be an honor to be able to vote for the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, I know that's never going to happen, but didn't mean to get sidelined there. But rest in peace, Ted Turner. And another thing I want to talk about real quick, IWR Insane WrestleFest. Attended that a couple weeks ago. Was a very fun show. A DLC match in the main event. Doors, ladders, and chairs. And saw top-notch Jason Hott get victory over the original bro, Matt Riddle. And 360 Wrestling Fanatic guest Riley Reinhardt got to have a little in-ring segment with the Road Dogg Jesse James and his brother representing the A-Team Special Forces, Avery Hughes. Check that out. You can watch the replay on Triller Plus anytime. IWR Insane WrestleFest 2. Speaking of IWR, coming up this week, they got the big IWR Judgment Day this Thursday, where they make their debut in Wyandotte here in Michigan at Grizzlies Bar and Grill. And if you are here in the Michigan area, as always, I definitely recommend checking them out. And if you're not here in the Michigan area, or for some reason you just can't make the show, you can still watch Judgment Day on Triller Plus. Will be live this Thursday night. I'm sure if you are a regular listener of 360 Wrestling podcasts, you have heard me talk about IWR, and very good promotion promoted by Michigan's own Rhino. the Man Beast, the War Machine, whichever you want to call them. Both work. So remember, IWR Judgment Day this Thursday. Also, you can still go back and listen to, I think it was the last episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic I've done. I know it's been a while, but you can check that out. My interview with Riley Reinhardt, wherever you listen to 360 Wrestling podcasts at, go back, listen to that either right here on Spreaker or wherever you listen to. I know I'm Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other ones, to be honest. I know I'm terrible, but there are some I'm not even sure of. And also, I forgot to mention, for the first time in quite a while, doing a live stream right here on the 360 Wrestling Podcasts YouTube channel. So you can do both. You can listen to this episode right now on Spreaker, and you can watch it on the 360 YouTube channel as well. Hopefully, you'll do at least one of them. And now I want to talk about Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor from this past Friday night. Live from Salisbury, Maryland at the Wicomico, hope I said that right, Youth and Civic Center, which was an exclusive on Honor Club. Watch ROH. On the 0 hour, we had Sammy Guevara in action, getting a win over Action Andretti, 11 minutes, 20 seconds. We had Roosh. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Defeat LSG, 41 seconds. Lately, it does seem like that's what Roosh has been doing. Goes in, gets a quick squash victory. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Mina Shirakawa and Queen Aminata in women's tag team action defeat Johnny Kai and Lacey Lane. 7 minutes, 41 seconds. And the Rascals, Desmond Xavier and Myron Reed, with Zachary Wentz in their corner, defeat the Premier Athletes team of Arya Davari and Tony Nese, with Story Delaney and Smart Mark Sterling in their corner. 11 minutes, 20 seconds. Now on to the main card, Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor 2026. Our commentators for the evening, Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. Nigel McGuinness versus Josh Woods, Pure Wrestling Rules. Very good match to start off the show. Nigel still looking good in the ring. Gets the win, 14 minutes, 53 seconds. The Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship on the line. Red Velvet defeated Viva Van to retain, 11 minutes, 19 seconds. The Ring of Honor World Television Championship match. AR Fox defeated Blackheart Leo Rush when Action Andretti came to ringside and turned on Leo Rush. And we have another Pure Wrestling Rules match, this time for the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship. The virtuosa Diana Perrazzo successfully retains, defeating Diamante via submission, 13 minutes. And the men's Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Championship is on the line. Of course, Pure Wrestling Rules. Lee Moriarty defeated Ace Austin. Very good match. Recommend this one. 16 minutes, 5 seconds. We have an open challenge for the Ring of Honor 6-man World Tag Team Championships. The Infantry, Shane Taylor, Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean. put out the open challenge. It is accepted by Dalton Castle and the Outrunners. And we have new champions. Dalton Castle, Truth Magnum, Turbo Void, get the win, 17 minutes, 45 seconds. The AEW National Championship on the line. The champion Mark Davis gets the win, defeating Zagula to retain 14 minutes, 12 seconds. The Ring of Honor World Championship match. Bandito versus Blake Christian. This match, better than I expected it to be honest. Bandito, definitely impressive. And Blake Christian also impressed me quite a bit in this one. But it is Bandito retaining, getting the win here over Blake Christian, 26 minutes, 5 seconds, and the main event of the evening, the first ever women's survival of the fittest match in Ring of Honor history, the ROH Women's World Championship on the line, as the forever ROH World Champion Athena, the Fallen Goddess, defends against Maya World, Trish Adora, Yuka Sakazaki, Zeta Steel, and, of course, Billy Starks. I enjoyed this match. Maybe it could have been a little better at times, but overall, I'd say good main event. Athena retaining at 26 minutes, 11 seconds. And like I said on 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans the other day, I know she's had this title, seems like forever. The longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor history. I think they should keep this going as long as they can. Big fan of Athena and her work in the ring. And like they say, old saying, but it's not broke, don't fix it. And who really would be the one that would be good to have them take the title off Athena? So that is Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor 2026. Overall, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 ring bells. In my opinion, I thought it was a solid show, to be honest. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I'd recommend it. Ring of Honor, watch ROH Honor Club. Check it out. If for some reason you don't like it, just have it for the month and you can always cancel. Doesn't hurt to at least check it out and try it. Give it a shot. You might enjoy it. I know there's a lot of streaming, especially if you're a pro wrestling fan these days. It's getting pretty expensive to be a fan. But, and that is all for this episode 689 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic on this Sunday night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Whether you are listening on Spreaker or any of the other podcast apps or websites, and if you're watching the live stream on the 360 Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who listens. Now that I have finally done a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I definitely hope to be back. Let's hope so. But who knows? Not going to make any promises for sure, but I definitely hope to be back on the regular schedule. Regular episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans every morning. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or anything, or if you want to give your thoughts and your opinions on Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor, or Friday night's episode of WWE SmackDown, last night's AEW Collision, you can just email me 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com or on the social media, Instagram, 360 Wrestling Podcasts, X at 360 Wrestling Pod, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow for 360 Good Wrestling. 360 Good Morning Wrestling fans. So stay tuned right here wherever you're listening. And until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.